Welcome to today's video. In a land divided by borders, cultures, and ancient rivalries, a powerful military commander carried a secret that no sword or strategy could defeat. He was victorious on the battlefield, but losing the battle for his own life. Until a servant girl whispered a name that would lead him on a journey of pride, power, and ultimately, healing. Today, we dive into one of the most surprising miracles of the Old Testament, a story of humility, obedience, and a God whose mercy knows no boundaries. In ancient Aram, modern-day Syria, there lived a man known across nations, a military genius, a fearless warrior, a trusted commander. His name was Naaman. Under Naaman's leadership, Aram had triumphed time and again, even over Israel. He was a man of status, wealth, and honor. But behind the medals, behind the armor, lurked a terrible truth. Naaman had leprosy, a dreaded, incurable disease. In a culture that saw lepers as cursed and unclean, this was not just a physical battle, it was social exile and a slow, public unraveling. But hope often comes from the most unexpected places. In Naaman's house lived a young Israelite girl, taken captive during one of Aram's raids. Yet instead of bitterness, her heart held faith. She said to Naaman's wife, "If only my master would go see the prophet in Samaria, he would heal him." Naaman listened, and for the first time, pride bowed to desperation. He traveled to Israel with a king's ransom, 10 talents of silver, 6,000 shekels of gold, and fine clothing, a gift for a miracle. But when Israel's king read Naaman's letter, he tore his robes in fear. "Am I God?" he cried. "Can I kill and bring back to life?" He thought Aram was trying to provoke war. But God's prophet Elisha heard of the king's distress and sent a word. "Let him come to me, and he will know there is a prophet in Israel." Naaman came with his chariots and servants and stood at Elisha's door. But Elisha didn't even come out to greet him. He simply sent a servant with a message. "Go, wash yourself 7 times in the Jordan River, and your flesh will be restored." Naaman was furious. No prophet's prayer, no dramatic gesture. "The rivers of Damascus are cleaner than the Jordan. Why should I bathe in that dirty water?" But his servants, with quiet wisdom, said, "If the prophet had told you to do something difficult, would you not have done it? How much more when all he said was, 'Wash and be clean'?" 1 dip, 2, 5, 6, and on the 7th, the leprosy was gone. His skin was like that of a child. Naaman, the proud warrior, stood in silence, overwhelmed by grace. He returned to Elisha and said, "Now I know there is no God in all the earth except in Israel." Naaman offered his gifts, but Elisha refused. Because the healing was not for sale, it was a testimony of God's power, not man's wealth. Naaman asked for 2 mule loads of earth from Israel, so that even in Aram he could stand on holy ground and worship the one true God. Naaman came seeking healing, but he found far more. He found the living God, and the God of Israel became the God of a foreign commander. God's mercy crosses borders. His healing knows no limits.
Subscribe for more Bible stories that inspire, challenge, and uplift.